Hello students, today we are going to discuss the packaging of parental dosage form. So in this lecture, we will discuss the introduction to different packaging material for parental dosage form and its components. Then different material of container such as a glass container, plastic container, metal container, closures and rubber closures. The factors influencing a choice of a container. So based on the economy, based on availability, based on physico-chemical property and many more important parameter, we can select the best and qualitative packaging material, primary packaging material as well as the secondary packaging material for the injection, suspension, whatever our parental preparation is there. Then packaging components and its a type such as the closures and rubber closure, different closures and the rubbers. Now, at completion of this packaging of parental dosage form, what are the learning objectives? The learner should able to understand the various materials, and its the properties. Means ideal characteristics of glass container. What are the ideal characteristic of a glass container, plastic container, metal container, or any other closures used for the packaging of parental dosage form. Why it's very important? Because understanding the properties of the different materials used for the preparation of the container. So definitely the component of the different container may interact with the content, means with the solution, injection, suspension, means any parental dosage form. And definitely when the content container interaction will be occur, so byproduct will be formed, and this is not desirable for a parental or sterile any a kind of sterile dosage form. Means we have already discussed the general requirement for the sterile dosage form. The sterile dosage form should be stable chemically, physically and microbiologically. It should be means isotonic, it should be chemically pure, it should be sterile one, should be free from foreign particle, okay, etc. So this is the general requirement for the preparation of any sterile dosage form. So therefore the learner should understand the various materials used for the packaging of the parental dosage form. The second objectives, understand the factors affecting a choice of a container. Means how to, suppose we have one a drug and we want to formulate in a parental dosage form. Okay, there is no any issue regarding the formulations, study or formulations. Means you selected n number of excipients, polymers, vehicle and procedure. After formulation, the stability is very important, because there are many, as you know that there are many environmental factors affecting on the stability of a product. Means light, humidity, moisture, oxygen, temperature, pressure. So these are the different environmental factors, parameters affecting on the product characteristics. So therefore, based on the different factor, there are many, we will discuss later on how to select the effective or qualitative packaging material for particular parental dosage form. Then understand the quality control test and method of evaluation. Now there are many official, means as per the Indian Pharmacopoeia or the United States Pharmacopoeia. Means there is an official test for glass container, official test for plastic container and a rubber closures. such as the water attack test and powder glass test. These are the main two tests which is carried on the glass container. So the learner should understand the rationale behind this official test, the rationale behind the powder glass test, what is the rationale behind the water attack test, and any other test which is carried on different containers like plastic or rubber closures. Then describe the components and types of the packaging material, rubber closure, okay, and its components, plastic container and its components. So these are the learning objective of this packaging of parenteral dosage form. See the introduction. Packaging provide an adequate degree of protection. So the first reason for primary and secondary packaging material of any pharmaceutical dosage form, you know, the solid dosage form, liquid dosage form, semi-solid dosage form, gaseous dosage form, and the packaging material for these type of pharmaceutical dosage form will be different. Means different packaging material is used for the packaging of this pharmaceutical dosage form. But here we'll discuss only the packaging of the parenteral dosage form only. So the basic use or the purpose of packaging provide an adequate degree of protection and minimizes the loss of constituents, loss of the content. So this is the prime importance and the purpose of packaging material. Then packaging of material is an integral part of any pharmaceutical industry. Means through the packaging material for the marketing point of view, for the protection point of view, to avoid or minimizes the loss of constituent or loss of the content, okay. So from all point of view, the packaging, the secondary and primary packaging material is very important. So therefore, under the pre-formulation study, means before the formulation of parenteral dosage form, we need to thorough study about the all physical, chemical and microbiological properties of the drug substances. So based on these physico-chemical properties of the drug substances, you can easily select or decide which type of a packaging material will suitable for particular parenteral dosage form. See the example, ophthalmic product, ophthalmic drug delivery system. Okay, so there are many packaging material are used by the pharmaceutical industry for the packaging of ophthalmic solution, ophthalmic suspension, ophthalmic ointment, ophthalmic insert, soluble ophthalmic insert, commonly known as SODI, etc. etc. Okay, so these type of a packaging material have introduced in market. So based on under the pre-formulation study, so this study is known as the content container interaction. Suppose XYZ type of a container is completely means physically and chemically compatible with the all the, I said all the components or the all the ingredient which is present in our formulation physically and chemically compatible. So you can use this particular packaging material for the packaging of our parenteral preparation. Okay, so under the pre-formulation study, the content container, okay, I said content container interaction study is again important. Then the packaging is the means of providing protection, identification, how to identify the product. Okay, without a packaging material, we can't identify the product easily. For the identification, information, okay, information, useful information to the patients, means how to use, where to use, the storage condition, shake well before use. This type of instruction is given on the label. So this type of information will given to the patients for the proper use of particular dosage form. So the packaging is the means of providing the protection, definitely providing the protection against the light, against the oxygen, and many more environmental factors. Identification and information gives the information, proper information to the patients. The commonly used container are the containers, means the base container, then closures and boxes or cartons. Okay, so these are the very commonly used container. Container means the primary container. Okay, the closures, rubber closure, boxes, cartons. Okay, so these are the some examples of commonly used container for the packaging of parental dosage form. To maintain the stability of product is the most fundamental functions. To maintain the stability, the product is stable for the period of 1 year. Means how to calculate the expiry after calculation of expiry date, means as per the Arrhenius theory, Arrhenius equation, and the shelf life of a API, we can predict the expiry date. Now the product is stable at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, means in between 30 to 35 degrees Celsius temperature condition a particular product is stable. So means suppose you exceed the temperature above the 35 degrees Celsius, so degradation will start. So this type of information, okay, given on a label, given on a container. Okay, so to maintain the stability of product is the most fundamental functions of the packaging material. Now what are the requirement of packaging material? The first requirement, it must preserve the physical properties. Preserve the physical property. What will happen, suppose the color container, for example blue color, sky blue color rubber closure you are going to use for the packaging of vials or injections. So sometimes what will happen, the color or color pigment will leach into the content or solution, and the transparent or colorless solution became a bluish. So it must preserve the physical properties of the content. Then it must not alter the identity of the product. Identity of the product. Identity of the product means the solution has a unique identity or particular identity. Gentamicin injection has particular identity. Diclofenac injection has particular identity. So our glass, whatever, suppose you want to pack this diclofenac injection in vials or in a ampoule or in any other container. Okay, so the glass or plastic, whatever packaging material, should not alter the identity of diclofenac sodium injection. It must preserve the characteristics property of the product. It must preserve the characteristics property of the product. Okay, it must protect the product against undesirable entity. Okay, so these are the some requirement of any packaging material for the parental dosage form. Now the various material used for the packaging. Glass, as I said, the glass container, plastic container, rubber closure, and metal container. So these are the commonly used packaging material for parental. Now the glass container, as per the USP classify the glass type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4 glass. What is type 1? The highly resistant borosilicate glass. Type 2 glass, treated soda lime glass. Type 3 glass, regular soda lime glass, and type 4 general purpose soda lime glass. Metal, tin, iron, then aluminium and lead. Plastic container, generally a thermosetting and thermoplastic resin. Thermosetting resins examples are phenolics, and thermoplastic resins are polyethylene, polypropylene, polyvinyl chloride, polyamide, and a rubber closure, natural rubber and neoprene rubber and butyl rubber. So these are the some materials used for the container and the closure. Borosilicate glass and treated soda lime glass, means type 1 and type 2, are generally used for the packaging of the parental dosage form. Why? Because of its characteristics, because of its uh, properties, type 1 and 2. Generally type 3 and type 4 are used for the packaging of oral liquids and any other pharmaceutical dosage form. Metal containers, tin, iron, aluminum and leads. Generally metal container are widely used for the packaging of other than a parental dosage form. Nowadays most of the packaging materials, parental dosage form available in glass and a plastic container because of its advantages over the metal container. Because the tin, iron, aluminum, the inner side the coating is necessary. Okay, for the metal container, the coating inside the container is necessary. But these type of, means coated tin coated and aluminum coated container are generally used for the aerosol, means a pressurized aerosol a container. MDI means a meter dose inhaler, then powder dose inhaler. For that purpose, means seamless container without any joint, so called as the seamless container, spray. Okay, aerosol container. Plastic container, nowadays the most of the parental dosage form, like large volume parental BAPS, in the previous lecture I already discussed the BAPS container, means the blowing, filling and sealing. Blowing the plastic component or material in particular molds and then form a shape of the container. Immediately in next station we have to fill the content inside the container, whatever your large volume parental or infusions, and immediately in third stage the sealing will be there. So therefore called as the blow, fill, a seal. Small bottom is also there. Okay, means a small water for injection 5 ml, 10 ml, okay, 20 ml bottles are also available, as well as the ophthalmic preparation in BAPS container. Okay, means as compared to FFS or any other type of a container, the plastic container had many advantages over glass or metal or any other type of a container. Rubber, natural rubber, neoprene rubber and butyl rubber. So these are the material used for the container and the closures. Now the first the container type of a container is a glass container. Now the glass is one of the most commonly used packaging material for various type of pharmaceutical formulation, not only in parental packaging but for the packaging of oral liquids and any other dosage form. The glass is one of the most commonly used packaging material. Why? Because of uh, its many advantages. It has many advantages such as the excellent barrier properties, high chemical resistant, chemically high chemical resistant and high transparency. So these are the some advantages of a glass container, but it has some disadvantages. Danger of a breakage, the most common in the case of a glass container. Danger of a breakage. When you compare this type of container with a plastic container, danger of breakage is a very means less chances, means zero chances in a plastic container. No any danger of breakage regarding the plastic container. But here the glass container, the very important disadvantage is the danger of breakage. Then part of free alkali oxide. free alkali oxide, the chances of, so therefore, as I said, why, what is the rationale behind the powder glass test or water attack test? So through this test we can conclude, okay, we can easily observe the percentage of a alkali will leach release of this alkali into the content, and with the help of water attack test or powder glass test we can observe the percentage of alkali which is released by the particular glass container into the content, and traces of heavy metals. So these are the some disadvantages of the glass container. No any doubt, the glass is a widely used as a packaging material for packaging of the parenteral or any other pharmaceutical dosage form because of some advantages, but we can't ignore the disadvantages, the danger of breakage, then the free alkali oxide and traces of heavy metals. Now see the types of a glass container. There are many types of a glass container, or you can say the examples of glass container. The ampoules, vials, different glass infusions bottles, cartridges and automatic injectors. So these are the some examples or types of glass container. See ampoules. So now ampoules are the single dose container opened by breaking at the score line on the neck of the glass. This is the one line, a different color generally used. This line is called as the score line. Blue color, red color, white colors. These are the different colors. Okay, and the line. We have to break the ampoule at this point. Okay, so called as a single dose container, and this line is called as the score line. Ideally, the formulation should be filtered before the administration, as there are chances of dislodging of the glass particle during the ampoule opening. Okay, this process or this the term is known as the dislodging. Means at the score line, suppose you break the ampoule, sometimes what will happen, the small glass particle will enter into the content. So the chances of any allergic or any contamination. So before the administration of the solution we have to filter. Okay, so these uh, chances of dislodging of a glass particle during the ampoule opening. The use of ampoule has been reduced due to their unsuitability for a multiple dose use and the need to filter the solution before use and other safety considerations. So these are the limitations. Okay, means the chances of contamination or the because of a single dose, okay, dislodging. So these are the some limitations of the ampoules. So therefore nowadays the parenteral preparation available in market in pre-filled syringes, syringes. So this is the reasons for introducing a pre-filled syringes in a market. So next types of a glass container is a vials. Vials are a glass, or generally the glass material is used for the fabrication of um, the vials, and which are closed with a rubber stopper and sealed with the aluminum cream. Okay, means basically three components is there: the glass vials, rubber closure and aluminum. Means no doubt the metal container is involving, rubber closure is involved, and the glass is there. Okay, so the certain drugs which are unstable in a solution form are packaged in a vial in a powder form. Okay, in previous lecture we have already discussed the different terminologies and definition as per the USP. For injection, for suspension, most, and I said uh, most of the antibiotics, most of the drugs are not stable. It's completely unstable in a liquid form. So there is a need to formulate in lyophilized product or dry powder and then packaged in vials. So for that particular product, the vial is a suitable container. Then infusion solutions are used for the intermittent or continuous infusion of the drug or fluid, 200 ml, 500 ml, 1 liter. Okay, there are divided into two types. Small volume parenteral, suppose the volume is less than 100 ml, called as you know, a small volume parenteral, the volume is more than 100 ml, called as large volume parenteral. Those having a volume of a 100 ml or less than 100 ml SVP. Then the next types is the cartridges. The cartridges injection system is a suitable and easy to use the method of injection that facilitate the sterility and the accuracy. And the last type is a automatic injector. It is a medical device designed to administer a drug at a single dose. Most of the auto injector are spring loaded syringes and they are easy to use and are intended for the self administration by the patient or any inexperienced the personnel can use this auto injector for the administration of the drug at an accurate rate. Okay, for accuracy and the sterility point of view, the auto injector is a very popular for the self administration of a drug via parenteral route. Okay, so these are the some types of a glass. Now the plastic container. The plastic polymer used for parenteral packages include polyvinyl chloride PVC and polyolefin. And this polymer has numerous advantages over the glass container, like durability, then easier storage and disposal, reduced weight and the better safety as compared to the glass container. In this figure, you can see the different types of plastic container which is available in market in different sizes and different technologies generally used to fabricate. So these are the all the BAPS container. Okay, blow fill seal technology is used for making this type of a container. Now different additives generally used to uh, fabricate this type of plastic container. Heat a stabilizer, and examples of heat stabilizers are barium benzoate, metallic stearate, lubricant, silicones, fluorocarbons, zinc stearate, fatty acid amines. So these are the some examples of lubricant. Plasticizer, phthalates and phthalates derivatives, antioxidant, BHT, thioesters. So these are the main heat stabilizer, lubricant, plasticizer and antioxidants, the main component of the plastic container. Now, what are the different factors influencing a choice of container? There are many factors affecting or you should consider while selecting a stable, qualitative and effective packaging material for uh, the parental dosage form, like a selection of packaging components, physicochemical characteristics, convenience, economy, environmental factors and disposability. See the first, selection of packaging components. So this type of selection of packaging components, these are influenced by the certain physical characteristics of the drug product, like its physical state, then a stability, weight and rigidity and surface nature or surface finish. So these are the some the properties of the drug component we should consider while selecting a particular packaging material. Second is a physico-chemical characteristics. There are many physical and chemical properties of the drug and other added excipients may influencing on the choice of container. How? Say, solubility of a drug, crystalline nature of a drug, then polymorphism of a drug, okay, pH of a drug, pH partition coefficient of a drug substances, okay, color, odor. So these are the some physicochemical characteristics of the drug definitely affecting on the choice of container. Then convenience. So as a consumer point of view, as a distributor and as a producer or manufacturer point of view, uh, the container means any type of container, whether it is a glass container or plastic container or rubber closure, it should be convenient. Convenient to manufacture, convenient to mold, convenient to transportation, stability, etc. etc. Then economical. Whatever the components used in a making of any type of a container should be economical, because the cost of container may affect directly on the production cost or the cost of the product. You are using the costly container, costly components, so definitely the product cost will be increases. So therefore it should be economical. Environmental factors, there are many environmental factors affecting on the stability of container, or you should consider while selecting a best container, such as the temperature, pressure, oxygen, humidity, light, etc. Then the disposability, it should be easily disposable, means eco-friendly. So these are the very important parameter or the factors influencing a choice of container. Then packaging components and its type, generally closures and rubber closures. The closure used for the purpose of covering the drug container after the filling process should be as inert as possible. Closure, inert. It should be inert as possible. What will happen? So these are the type of a primary container. So direct contact in between content means solution and rubber closure. The surfaces of rubber closure, inner surfaces of rubber closure. So the chances of releasing the content of a rubber closure into the or color pigments of rubber closure into the content. Rubber consists of the several ingredient, and one of which is elastomers. So you can see here the different colors generally used for the making of these rubber closures. Now the composition of rubber closure, components type, general purpose and the examples. The first is a activator. The purpose, increase the efficiency of accelerator. Accelerator is a increasing a cure rate. And what is the curing rate or curing agent? So form a cross link to shape the rubber in a specific shape or form. So the activator increase the efficiency of accelerator, and the examples are zinc oxide and stearic acid. Antioxidant resist aging, and the examples are phenol. Accelerator increase a curing rate, and the examples are 2-mercaptobenzothiazole. Okay. Then filler modifies the hardness of rubber closure, and the examples are carbon black. Curing agents form a crosslink to shape rubber, and the examples are sulfur, zinc oxide and peroxide. Elastomers, the general purpose, it's a base material. Without the elastomer, uh, examples are butyl and halobutyl silicones. The last components or types, the plasticizer, molding of rubber, and examples are silicon oil. So these are the basic components of a rubber closure with their general purpose and some examples. Thank you very much.